Hey, what's happening, everyone? Aaron Jackson here with the Rotation Report. This is not financial advice. Sell the cut edition. That's right, not financial advice. Do we really want to sell the cut? I don't know. Fed's cutting tomorrow. No doubt about that. But how do we react to it? Ooh, that's a good question. And we're going to get into that in a moment. But yeah, they're really reeling in the stragglers today, huh? If 2.5 weeks of just stocks going up, it wasn't enough. Like, I mean, they really got them excited today. Even the Bitcoin bulls are back out, coming to play a little bit. They're getting a little excited. I don't know about all that. But yeah, no, long time no talk. I figured, like there's not really much to say these last 2 weeks. Like, yeah, they cut or Fed pivots. You want to get in, and now is the next decision point. So, with that, let's just get right into it here. Very interesting time. Uh, I'm not sure how we're feeling about this setup right here into the cut. We've got NASDAQ 100. Look at that. Nice recovery rally. Just you go from, completely bidless, oversold, but right back into the extension target area. So what's going to happen from here? I don't know. Do we want to react too much? No. What I'm doing is I'm taking some off, taking a couple positions off, raising some cash into this number, into this report, all this stuff. We've got Oracle earnings tomorrow night as well. And if we look at the semiconductor stocks, like, look, I've got some charts in here coming up. There are chip shortages, there's chip material shortages. Certain stocks just keep going up. But what we have here, we might have a reverse NVIDIA. If you remember, we had NVIDIA earnings just about 3 weeks ago, and then you had a massive gap up and then reversal to wipe everyone out. I wonder if we get this cut, we're right next to this extension target area, just under it by 1%. Haven't touched it. I wonder if you get a positive reaction here, you hit that, and then a reversal lower. That's something we're keeping an eye on. But it's just at the moment, the field position is not where we want it to be adding fresh risk in something like a semiconductors or a tech. Just at the moment, do we know if this is the top? Absolutely not. Do we know, could it just be they have a program and then bang, you get through the highs and then it keeps working higher? Hell, maybe. But for the moment, we're just kind of chilling here. And one of the things that really has us kind of, raising an eyebrow about the growth stocks at the moment, these highly priced growth stocks, is check this out. We've got Vanguard value versus growth. And however you want to cut it, it looked like late October, blow off move. And we saw all those blow off moves and all the tech leaders, your Palantirs, Cloudflare, all these big fake breakouts. And can they just work higher now that everybody's been washed out? Positioning's kind of been reset. Yeah, I suppose that's possible. Like anything's possible, right? But at the moment, we're definitely got our eye on this pretty key level here. I mean, it's hit 1, 2, 3, 4. So we're up to about 8, 9, 10 times on the same spot in value versus growth. So, you can make the argument that, hey, maybe we do want to focus a little more on value and check out the home builders, ITB. They've sold off a little bit these last few days. The theme over the last few months has just been, hey, every time there's a market rip based on rate cuts, basically you just want to sell it because the housing weakness is not just about rate cuts, right? Well, interestingly, Toll Brothers, they had earnings. They reported this morning. The call was pretty interesting. They noticed actually since November, so they're seeing some signs of things actually stabilizing. They were surprised how stable things had gotten. So we're going to keep an eye on this low right here, 99-ish, something like that. This 97, 96 even in play. But you can see if it does shape up from here, that would be really interesting. But Toll Brothers is a high end. They say they're more affluent, customer base. So maybe not. And then, we look at something like the S&P Transports Index, like whether it's airlines or trucking or just whatever, looks pretty good in the big picture. I've been talking about it for a long time. Very constructive. You would think very constructive, should be able to rally in the next year or two. But at the moment, it is resistance just for now. So we're just going to have to see how it plays out. But I think in a lot of these kind of value groups, whether it's industrial metals, energy, whatever, they're right here, right on the precipice of a bigger breakout. But, we just haven't gotten the clear signal yet. Does that come in January? Does it come in a few weeks? Does it come Thursday? I don't know, but we're definitely, it's just something we want to, be wary of. And, it's a field position thing. The market is a probabilities game. It's a field position game. And right now it's like, okay, looking positive, but, maybe we'll give it a beat. And then the one thing that does give you some pause is we talked about the tech breakouts failing. Well, here's banks. Look at the banks. They're leading. How could you be bearish when the banks are leading? Well, this is how. Check out pharmaceuticals. Man, that was a nice little break of the all-time high there, right? You get the breakout and then immediate reversal. Now, healthcare, you'll say, healthcare, pharma, that's defensive. That doesn't count. But it is like a trend. There's a trend of these breakouts not sticking, and that's a little problematic for sure. Gilead Sciences, GILD, check that one out. That was another one. It's like, okay, it was trying to break out, it pushed, and then now it's giving up that breakout. And hell, can they recover? Sure, anything can happen, like we say, but definitely worth being mindful of. And here's the chip material shortages. So this Lumentum Holdings, they make lasers in the for data centers, and so check it out. They're doing a conference scene this week, and just yesterday they're like, yeah, we're actually we're actually more behind, and yeah, the industry is adding like 40-50% capacity this year, and they're like, yeah, well, we'll be able, maybe we'll catch up in 2027, which 2025 still. So we're definitely photonics, lasers, optoelectronics. We're definitely Googling all that shit. We're just searching all that shit. What can we get? I'm sure there's a few speculative names that can just make some moves. But I don't want to talk about some of these pieces of shit here. And then here's another one. American Xtel Technology. Interestingly, it's a semi-material, but based out of China. So to get this fucking thing, you got to place an order. It has to be approved by the Chinese government. And then, you place the order and maybe you get your supply in 3 to 6 months. Maybe they approve it in 3 months. Yeah. So anyways, you can see, started talking about this thing at 3 in September. 15 now. Holy shit. So don't let anyone tell you like, oh, the AI, it's overdone. It's unsustainable. No, a lot of shortages, a lot of shortages. People are desperate for the supply. And how about this chart today? We've got Bitcoin versus Ethereum breaking down. I think we're talking the return of Ethereum dominance. Look at that thing. Now, I think one way to interpret it is, hey, this is pretty constructive for crypto. That is. It's nice we really want to see these two things decouple, no doubt about it, because there was just during the sell-off, it was just a weird correlated sell-off, just every day. So I think it's positive to see that divergence. But ultimately, I think if we're looking to play crypto upside, you want the Ethereum and Solana. And if you're worried about crypto downside, you're really worried about Bitcoin, being a freaking dead weight on the group here. And, one chart that really stands out is the Coinbase. Interesting. A lot of stalling out randomly at this 200-day moving average. For some reason, this thing has mattered, these flat moving averages. Who really gives a shit? But, sometimes the market gives you a hint. And is that somebody like, get me out? Is it possible? Like, we know they've got the levered futures or whatever, the perpetuals that the insane leverage that can, blow everything up. Well, okay. That's a risk to watch in the crypto. And then here's the hodlers, I guess you'd call them, the micro strategies, the Bitcoin standard corporations. Yeah. So we're keeping an eye on this August low, 27-ish. Check that out. It's mattered a few times here. That was the high last week. And now if that hodler group can't get above that 27 level, well, maybe the risk is that it goes back down to 20. That's just one thesis. We don't know. Don't come after me, Bitcoin cultists. I don't know shit. But moving on, yeah, a lot of earnings this week. I think Adobe, not sure the day on Adobe, Wednesday night, Thursday night, could be tonight. I'm pretty sure it's Wednesday. Anyways, Anyways, last earnings, I hyped it up as the biggest earnings of all time. Oh, that was bullshit. So check this out. Nice recovery of that April momentum low there. You have the nice divergence in momentum, and we're seeing a bunch of these software stocks that were kind of dubbed AI losers, and they've had like terrible years. Like, look at this Adobe. What was that? 550, and now it's 340. That's a hell of a haircut. So we're just seeing a ton of stocks like this in this December timeframe, right? Just right now, we're just digging through the trash, just seeing, who's just giving up on these names because they've lost and get these final flushes. And frankly, I mean, that kind of describes exactly what we're seeing here in Adobe. So we'll see if it can hold above 330. Looks very interesting around here. And yeah, I mean, if you're interested in some various AI agent plays, like there's a lot of trash to dig through, a lot of interesting kind of setups down there. And then yeah, Oracle earnings tomorrow night. You want to talk about something that's just as important as the reaction to the Fed or here we are, Oracle earnings. You can see this is the old high here, held pretty well. Now we're back at a pivot, but what really stands out probably is the Fibonacci levels, 247, 250. You can see that would be the 50-day moving average up there. That's going to be an area to watch. And then like the 330 was the next Fibonacci extension, but on this version of stock charts, I don't have that ability. So definitely keeping an eye on that there Wednesday night. And then there's Nvidia. Yeah, they get the news that they can sell the H200s to China, which is their 2024 chip. And the commentator class is making a huge deal, like, how could Trump do this? Well, I think we should remind people, like, the H200 chip happened at right here in the middle of last year, and that caused a hell of a sell off in the semis because those chips, they were like melting. It was like impossible to get them going. Like people were really struggling. It really took people like an extra 3 to 6 months to figure out, hey, how do we make the system work without failing in the data center? So and what happens next, right? Like this year in the spring, Nvidia's like, all right, hold up, we gotta do a new architecture for the chips that are coming out next year, and then they are going to be just in the data centers everywhere in 2027. So there's a whole new architecture coming next, the next year or so. And so like, yeah, China's getting a couple year old chips, but it's not like, I don't think it's as bad as people make it out to be a national security threat. It's like, okay, good luck making your shit work. Yeah, good luck not starting a fire with these damn H200s. So interesting stuff. And then we've got the CoreWeave. So check it out. Yesterday, they do a debt offering, and you're like, these bastards. Oh, these motherfuckers. They couldn't just not do the debt offering. They couldn't just wait a little bit. Well, check it out. Nice recovery to new swing highs here. But, if it's going to stop anywhere, it's right here at this daily Bollinger Band resistance here. Would not be surprised to see it stall out. But if it doesn't completely reverse, you're kind of cooking with gas, right? The bull case is this is just a nice bullish consolidation. Everybody panicked, and then the Fed pivoted, and then it's going to be an easy Fed, and the AI rally is going to continue, and this thing could move. But, one day at a time here. And here we go, Palantir, most interesting chart in the book to me. You had this big fake breakout. Boy, I got trapped here. Oh, I got rugged. Oh, I got rugged. Not going to deny it, but now we're back kind of at the old breakout area. But you could say, hey, it's going to punch through there and fill that gap. Or you could say, hey, ugly blow off. Like a lot of times you get these ugly blow offs, the retest of the blow off, something like that, and then it rolls over and that's the top. That's a possibility too. Eileen, that, just trust our eyes, blew off, retracement rally, roll over, but hell, open gap up there. Who the hell knows what can happen? And I don't know if you guys heard this Warby Parker. They've got new smart glasses out in a partnership with Google. And the Gemini is very good. I know Warby Parker is more like a fashion thing. Anyways, you dig through the earnings calls, and like the Best Buy is like, no, these kids, the Gen Alphas, whoever, they can't get enough. They can't get enough of the smart glasses. And it's like, the smart glasses as a device, as a form is really interesting, not just for like wearing and your own AI, but like think about it as like there's an employment like skills gap mismatch, and everybody's got to train their new employees. Well, you know, you have one way to bring your employees up to speed would be like your AI helper on the classes, helping them execute tasks, and then you can like record them doing the task and actually evaluate, what they're doing. Like it's not a dystopian nightmare exactly. It's not either, but very interesting applications there. So we're definitely on the lookout for different smart glasses, that type of thing, moving into 2026. As for this one, that 18 zone right there, that's your stop at this point, which, terrible for a stock at 23 and then 28. But, would not be surprised to see this one work higher in time. I really do think there's something to the smart glasses. And speaking of, a bull market with something to it, how about silver, huh? And Pan American Silver. Look at this thing. Got nice 20-year breakout last week. It was making new all-time highs with silver last week. Full disclosure, I own it. It's one of those things. It's like, okay, this thing gonna stick over 43, 40, whatever. Just own it. Don't even look at it. Don't even think about looking at it. Just leave it, go away, leave it. It's basically like if you owned a silver coin or you owned a brick of silver, whatever, same type of thesis there. Just let it cook, baby. And yeah, all right, that'll do it for today. And a couple things, first off, thanks for watching. Appreciate you guys. And if you like the video, do me a favor and like the video. And a bonus little shout out here. Dimitri Kofinas has a podcast called Hidden Forces. And I just checked this one out. It's got Dr. Ian McGilchrist. And I suggest looking that up for like, you want to get into the weeds on some shit, something cool. Like, Dr. Ian McGilchrist on Hidden Forces Pod. Very good stuff. Highly recommend those books. And until next time, everyone, y'all have a great day.